My name is Beatriz Hidalgo. I'm a student in Psychology of Advertising, and I'm going to be presenting about an article written by Steve Oakes and Adrian North called Dance to the Music, How Musical Genres and Advertising Can Sway Perception of Image. To understand why this research is important, it's essential to consider the prevalence of music in advertising. Previous research has shown that 94% of television advertisements contain music. Advertisers use music to enhance effective response, brand attitude, content recall, and purchase intent. For example, when rock music was paired with the Swatch brand in radio advertisements, it enhanced perception of fashionable style. Then, when classical music was paired with the Rolex brand, it enhanced the perception of quality. This suggests that the consumers made inference on the basis of musical cues that have prior associations. In this study, the researchers were investigating 5 different hypotheses. First, perceived image of the university in television advertising will be a function of the stereotypes associated with the musical genre. Second, perceived image of the university in radio advertising will be a function of the stereotypes associated with the musical genre. Third, perception of a sophisticated university learning environment will be a function of the stereotypes associated with a sophisticated musical genre. Fourth, the anticipated cost of university fees will be a function of the stereotypes associated with the musical genre. Fifth, purchase intent will be a function of the hedonic stereotypes associated with the musical genre. The current research involved 2 experiments that manipulate the genre of background music in 2 advertisings for British universities. For the first experiment, the sample was of 135 undergraduate marketing students from the University of Central Lancashire. 58 were male and 77 were female. The mean age of participants was 19.60. They randomly divided them in 3 groups. One group would watch a television advertising containing visual image of students at work and leisure and of multiple campus buildings. The second group would watch the same advertising image but accompanied with dance music. And the last group would watch the same advertising but this time accompanied with classical music. None of the advertisings had spoken words. Then, participants were asked to rate the university image on a scale of 1 to 7 according to the following category range: modern to traditional, dull to exciting, trendy to old-fashioned, serious to frivolous, adult to childish. For the second experiment, the sample was of 231 first and second year undergraduate management students from the University of Liverpool. The mean age was of 18.91 years old. They were randomly divided into 3 groups. One listened to a radio advertising with spoken words and classical music. The second one listened to the same words but this time accompanied by dance music. And the third group listened only to the words with no music. Then, participants were asked to rate the university image on a scale of 1 to 5 according to the following category range: modern to traditional, dull to exciting, trendy to old-fashioned. The results from the first experiment were statistically significant for the first 3 category range. In the second experiment, the results were statistically significant for all the category ranges. The results in this experiment show that attributes are transmitted from the musical genres to the advertised university. Dance music enhanced, meanwhile classical music diminished the desired image for the university as modern, exciting, and trendy. Also, classical music resulted in anticipation of higher university fees, meanwhile dance music made it more likely that a student would apply for study. Results suggest that musical genres may influence perceived image and purchase behavior in advertising of intangible service whose quality is difficult to evaluate in advance. These results can provide extensive application for advertising agencies and clients in terms of demographic targeting and communication of a distinctive brand image. The first limitation that this study presents is the sample. The fact that they use a student sample makes you wonder what would be the impact of the advertising on an outsider from the university. Also, in some cases, the parents are the one who pay for the university, so their perception on the image of the institution is important as well. Another limitation is the song that they pick to represent each genre. If we were to change the song, the perceived image could change because music genres have a wide variety of songs in it. The last main limitation would be the fact that the students saw and heard the advertising in a controlled environment. Their reaction might have been different if they saw it during a normal routine. For future research, it would be interesting to attempt to link classical and dance music pieces for a much closer integration of a genre association. So, future cognitive neuroscience research could build on these findings by using brain activity measures to examine the relationship between musical genre manipulation and advertising response. This has a relevance for advertisers seeking to communicate the sophistication and excitement of mentally stimulating leisure services such as art galleries and museums. Finally, this experiment could also be done with alternative musical genre stimuli in a variety of advertising contexts.